Following the video on the behavior of the pit bull who growls at its owner. Here is what to do to never find yourself in this situation. If you have not watched the first video, I invite you to do so by clicking on the top right to access it. Before we begin, we need to clarify a few important points. Within the same breed, dogs have different character traits. Dominant dogs and submissive dogs. Dogs who growl at their owners, refuse sorters and in the worst case bite, are dominant dogs whose owners have made mistakes in raising or in everyday life. These are the dogs where you can't make mistakes because these dogs have the instinct to be at the top of the hierarchy, and they seize the slightest opportunity to dominate the members of their pack. This makes the breeding of these dogs much more difficult when you do not have the knowledge. It's unfortunately these dogs that are most often found in the pound, who are the most abandoned, who are most often euthanized. Whatever temperament your dog is, I advise everyone to apply the following. A dog who knows its place in the hierarchy is a happy, active and stable dog. And with training, you would make it a dog with a very high level of discipline. No breed is better to another when it comes to discipline. Be your dog's alpha. Here's the do's and don'ts to keep you and your family above your dog in the hierarchy. So that the video is not too long, we will summarize the life of the dog in 3 points. First point, social life in a pack. In the pack, the dominant dogs assert their dominance by fighting. It's their way of showing who's stronger. Your dog considers your family as its pack. To be above your dog in the hierarchy, you need to make him understand that you and your family are stronger than him. I strongly advise against beating your dog. If you do, you will dominate your dog, but he will become fearful, unstable, disturbed. And a fearful dog is a dog that bites. It won't bite you, but it could do it with anyone who does a similar gesture. There are many more ways to show your dog your strength. The strength of man is his intelligence. Simple tools are a great show of strength for our dogs. The leash, cage and muzzle are the tools that limit your dog's, making him completely powerless against it. Your dog will be able to bite, pull or jump as many times as he wants before he understands that he will not be able to free himself. All canine professionals systematically use these tools to re-educate a dog. From the point of view of your dog, this is the best show of strength you can make. Better than violence. When you walk your dog, keep him on a leash, and have other family members hold it. Make sure your dog can see who is holding him. This is a very important point. Tie your dog up at home when you receive people. This is an opportunity to put your guests at ease and assert your dominance. Have your dog untied by other members of your family. Do the same for cage and muzzle without forgetting to always show your dog who ties and who unties, who puts and who removes, who locks up and frees. Many people may not understand caging or tying up their dog at home. Keep in mind that this is training to make your dog understand who is stronger and above him in the hierarchy. This training is to be done at the beginning if you are adopting an adult dog or during its growth. Do it again anytime you feel your dog is trying to test you or your family. When your dog does something wrong, take the opportunity to redo this training to reprimand him. If you want to reprimand it, do not beat him. Raise your voice while standing in front of him. It is very important that he must see you taller than him, and then tie up or lock up your dog. Order him to sit down and make him wait a little before releasing him. This is very important because he must understand that everything does only when you decide and order it.
Zelda. India. X. Sit down. Kita. Lele. Tutti.
Let's watch and analyze this video. Here we have a really very interesting point. When the dominant dog submits the other dog, he looks at several takes back the person holding the camera. As if he had to check if he allowed to subdue the other dog. He is preparing to stop all actions at the slightest intervention from the owner of these dogs. This proves to us that there are several ranks in the hierarchy and that there is only one alpha place. Alpha is just a word for the one who is at the top of the hierarchy. This is why you notice that your dog does not behave in the same way with you as with other members of your family. Second point. Feed. Feeding your dog is the best time to make your dog understand his place in the hierarchy. But it is also at this time that we can make the most mistakes. In their wild state, dogs struggle their entire lives to find food and feed. When you bring food to your dog, from his point of view, he always grateful to you, but from our point of view, we tend to forget it and sometimes we see it as a chore. This is why you must remember that this moment is very important. I don't recommend wanting to automate this moment by leaving the bag of kibble open on the floor, or feed it by any automatic dispensing machine. The dog should always see you or your family feeding him. This is extremely important so that your dog can understand the benefits to you and understand the importance that you have in his life. If you feed your dog at the same time as you, never feed your dog before you do to get rid of this chore and thus eat quietly in front of your television. In the pack, it is always the dominants who eat first and the best pieces. If your dog sees that he eats before you do, his instinct can encourage him to adopt a dominant attitude towards you. Show him that you eat first and that he only eats after you and your family. He must see you eat before him. It's very important. Don't tolerate him getting on the table or eat without your authorization. If he already has this bad habit, use your leash and tie your dog close to you to watch you eat with your family. And then, feed him. Repeat this training until he learns to take his turn. If you feed your dog at other times than you do, each time you feed him, make him wait a few moments before allow him to eat.
Okay.
Keeping him waiting allows you to maintain your authority and thus keep your place in the hierarchy. If your dog has not learned how to do this, use your leash to tie up your dog and pose his food in front of him and out of his reach. Order him to sit down. Once seated, slowly bring his food closer, making sure he is always seated. Make him wait a while and give the order so that he can eat. Repeat as many times as necessary until he learns. When he begins to eat, I advise you not to take his food back. It is the instinct of dogs to defend their food. Even if a dominant comes to eat, he may growl at you. Don't train your dog to growl at you, or your family. Don't starve your dog. Have all of your family members do this training. Always be present the first times.
3, okay.
Third point, rest. Many people let their dogs sleep with them, get on the couch, or ride on them. This is something that I advise against for this simple reason: in a pack, the dominant dog retains the privilege of sleeping in the best place. Dominants always seek to climb on top of other dogs to assert their dominance. They are always looking to have higher height at other dogs in the pack. Let your dogs have a height higher than you can stimulate their instincts and adopt an attitude of domination. Many people disagree with this because they let their dog sleep with them and observe they still has a higher position than their dog in the hierarchy. But maybe your dog is not dominant, or you have taught your dog to sleep with you. Maybe have you been raising your dog since birth? In the pack, newborns are always at the bottom of the hierarchy and obey and learn much better than an adult dog. This is why people prefer to own a dog only if it is a puppy. But some people adopted adult dogs that may be dominant in nature, those that could be dangerous for them to believe that there is no risk in letting their dog sleep with them. Please don't do your case a generality. To conclude this video, your dog needs to know his place in the hierarchy. He will test you one day or another to find out where he is in the hierarchy. This is usually done from 6 months. If you refuse to believe in hierarchy and dominance and make mistakes, your dog will be unhappy, lazy, and have a low level of discipline. In the worst case, if is dominant in nature, he will naturally and instinctively adopt a dominant attitude with you. On the other hand, if you have made your dog understand his place and that you are alpha, instinctively dogs always follow and listen to the alpha of the pack. He will therefore be happy, active and obedient, and with good training, you will be able to make your dog have a high discipline level. He will be for you your most faithful companion, ready to do anything for you, protect you, even risking his life until death if necessary. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and teaching you some things about dog behavior and body language. This video is for educational purposes only. Do not take the risk of doing something on your own if you are having serious problems with your dog. Call a professional. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the other videos. On this channel, I provide you with educational content and share with you my passion for animals. If you like animals, don't hesitate, join me.